My name is Amina. I'm from a small town called Kachiri. When I think back to how my life changed, I always remember one afternoon when I came home from school in my JSS2 uniform. I was just 14. My mother called me quietly into her room. She didn't even wait for me to sit down. She said, "Amina, your father has decided. You're getting married next week." At first, I thought it was a joke. But the look on her face, I'll never forget it. She looked tired, sad, scared. I said, "Why? I'm just a child." But my father didn't think so. To him, school was a waste of time for girls. He believed my bride price would help the family more than my education. My mother tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen. She always said, if I had the chance to go to school like my friend Hadiza, my life would have been different. She saw education as a way out, not just for me, but for all of us. My marriage was arranged quickly. The man's name was Idris. He was 40 years old. Already had 2 wives. I had never even spoken to him before the wedding. After we got married, he treated me like a worker. At first, he promised I wouldn't do hard labor since I was young. That promise lasted a few months. I had my first child, Miriam, at 15. After that, he sent me to the farm every day. I carried Miriam on my back, walking under the hot sun. When I complained, he said, "You wanted to be treated like an adult. Then act like one." It got worse when I got pregnant again. I was sick, weak, but he didn't care. One day, I said I couldn't go to the farm. He said if I didn't go, he would stop feeding me. And he meant it. He cut me off completely. One of his other wives secretly gave me food. She said she had gone through the same thing. After I had my second baby, Zain, I found a small job at a petrol station. That job gave me hope. A little money. A little freedom. But Idris came one evening and told me to quit. He said he didn't want me exposed to bad influences. Then Miriam got sick. A fever that wouldn't go down. Idris didn't want to spend money on a hospital. I took her to the chemist. He said she needed a real clinic and maybe a blood transfusion. I called Idris. He sent his cousin to take us there. He didn't come himself. At the clinic, the doctor confirmed she needed blood. Idris finally showed up, but said he was too tired to donate. He called a nephew. The boy said he hadn't eaten. They all left to find food. I sat there, holding Miriam. She asked me for water. I gave her some. By the time they came back, she was gone. No one even cried. They picked her up quietly and said they'd go bury her. A week later, Zain started coughing. Another fever. This time, I didn't call anyone. I carried him myself and asked a neighbor to help. He died in my arms on the way. 2 children. Gone. In just 7 days. I went home empty. That night, my mother looked at me and said, "Your father gave you to a man. Now, I'm sending you to your future." She took me to Auntie Jomai, a nurse in our village. She had tried to stop my marriage years ago. Now, she helped me escape. She contacted my mother's old school friend in Jos, a woman named Hadiza who worked with an NGO. They made arrangements. The next morning, I packed my old books, a few clothes, and the 5,000 Nigerian nairas my mother gave me. Auntie Jomai gave me another 10,000 Nigerian nairas. I boarded a bus to Jos that day. It wasn't easy. But for the first time, I had choices. I took adult education classes. Worked as a cleaner at a health center while I studied. Auntie Hadiza paid for my WAEC and JAM forms. I passed. Years later, I got a scholarship to study nursing. Today, I work in a hospital in Ghana. I send money to my mother every month. The woman who never gave up on me. When people hear my story, they ask how I survived. The truth: I was lucky. Lucky to have people who believed in me even when I had nothing. I'm the first girl in my family to go to university. I've turned my pain into purpose. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this: being born into hardship isn't your fault. But staying there is, if you have the chance to escape.